I mean, that was the start of our relationship, but it came from like your initiative of like, yo, I just want to shoot videos. I'm like, cool, I need someone to shoot videos. And for this
first few, I wasn't even like, hey, my rate's this.
Right.
If you can't afford me, don't call me.
Yeah, I don't think you...
It was never even about money. For me, it was kind of like the experience, leveling up with you. I think we clicked, our work ethic, and that's something we'll touch on.
Do you remember if I was paying you? I had to have been paying you,
I think I maybe made... I think you did cut me a check for like $250.
Yeah.
And back then, I mean, I was like... mind you, I was like, oh, perfect. You know,
Right.
But some people, I think, kind of use money as a sort of threshold if they're going to work or not.
Right.
And I think if you're at like a... I mean, without getting kind of too into it, I definitely was like... There was even moments where you would ask me like, hey, what are you doing next Wednesday? I got a video. And I remember because I was like, years later, I was like, oh man, I don't think I ever really asked him, oh, what's the rate?
No, I don't think
it was
you
always
ever
just
did.
like, cool, I'm there. And then it was kind of always a mystery like of what the check would be. And it was like, that was less important. Like what
I
we
feel
were
like that's
that day.
always been our relationship. I mean, more recently, I think we've been more like, but I think we've always just been like, yo, it doesn't even matter. Like, I know you got me, I got you. Like, it's all going to be good, which is I mean, I feel like it's pretty rare to find. I think back then too,
you know, sure, money's great, got to pay rent, bills, but for me, it was just like more important. Like, I was more stoked. Sometimes I'd even like forego the rate so we could get lenses, or whatever. You know what I mean?
It's like the time your worst day ever when we rented those anamorphic lenses.
We'll have to talk about that later.
You messed it all up.
Yeah.
No, but like I think that's like case in point, because if you would have came to me and like, I mean, I'm just still trying to get my directing career still off the ground, and those budgets for those videos weren't any like they're just independent artists that were like, yo, I got $1,500.
Yeah.
And if you were like, yo, man, my DP rate's 500, 750, I would have been like, dude, like I'm not even gonna make that.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like, and
sure.
I gotta direct, edit, produce. So yeah, we might not have this relationship today that would have spawned into everything we do together. And you know, because of your initiative to be like, yo, anything, let me know. I'm not worried about rates, blah, blah, blah. Like, we're able to build so much together and build so many businesses, and just, it's led to so much because you weren't just like, rate snob. You're like, yo, I just want to work. Yeah. I want to meet people. I want to create dope things. I want to build my reel. I want to build my resume, and let's see where this goes. And it's gone some pretty cool spots.
And it's crazy. I mean, you really look at the kind of discography, if that's the correct term.
Yeah, discography.
Body of work. But just like all of it laid out. And it's like, because it's funny, recently we made like a course for all the cinematography stuff we do.
Right.
And I kind of like, it was like a little bit sentimental because I'm going through all these old hard drives, like looking for, I'm talking about backlights. I was like, oh, there must have been a video we shot in that span time that used backlight. And it was like kind of going through like memory lane of like, oh my God, look at that. And then I'd look at the BTS and be like, wow, like, what was my hair doing? Or look at like how janky my red looked, or like, it's just cool to see the evolution, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and what's cool is like I don't know if too many other filmmakers, to my knowledge, that have like really documented the process. So like you kind of having your channel kind of force you to document the process. So like, I think there's like a really cool, like kind of journey that you can kind of look back on. I even go back
like
and look at some
capsule,
of the old, and it's just like, oh wow, like that's what LUTs you were using in 2012. That's what like lenses we had in 2012. Like, it's kind of actually cool to like go back and watch some of those old videos.
Well, I think even just documenting our whole process, and that's why I'm still, even to this day, like I always kind of want to document and put stuff together, is because it is like cool to look back on, but it's like you never know how you can use all that stuff. Like you're saying, for the Learn Cinematography course that we built, where we were able to pull from all the way back to when we first met and we're shooting videos and pull references and show things. So we were able to like build out a more robust course for people wanting to learn film, because we documented our journey and had all these, extra clips and footage that like, we documented. And so, it's
100%
crazy journey. So and we still have lots of things in the works and plans, but for the future.
Yeah, definitely.
And hopefully this podcast is another. Hopefully we look back at this and be like, dude, remember when we started this podcast like in our Prism warehouse? And it's like, now
I don't know if these cameras can really see it, but it really is just a table from IKEA, 2 sound blankets I got online. And like, hey, look, I mean, it's really case in point that you don't need like that much to do something.
Right.
That's something I've always kind of like admired about just like the choices we've made, is like sometimes people will stand on the edge of a cliff, cliff being metaphor for a decision, and just think on it. And I know people in my life where they kind of spend so much time analyzing the cost benefit, or do I pull the trigger? And I
Yeah.
understand that money sometimes can be a barrier to starting something, but
Right.
I think we were literally talking about this, I kid you not, like maybe a week ago. It's Tom.
It's Jake.
You already know.
It's pretty spot on. All right, ready?
All right, first episode.
Crazy.